And hello, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. I am Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the CIA, Cosmic Intelligence Agency, where we have a consortium of astrologers across the planet here to serve you with our collective experience and wisdom from across the globe and over the ages. And we're all different ages too, I should add. All right. Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Cosmic Connections. We'd like to do a little bit of astrology and a little bit of spiritual messages as well. Hi, Stephanie from Massachusetts. Yes, when you call in, let me know where you're from. Hey, Vicky from New York. We're going to talk about the phase we're in now under the umbrella of Aquarius time of the year. And remember, every lunation, every month has 8 phases. So I've been doing phase work for a while. It's fascinating to me because, like with anything in life, or therefore astrology, life can change on a dime and things change moment by moment. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Anika. Hello, Arm. Hello, Heather. Thank you. Blessings from all over the world. Good day. I wish I could hear your voices, Vixie. Hi, Tanya from Reno. Rebecca, hello, New Zealand and Canada and Houston. I'd love to get a live report from what's going on in Ottawa, Canada, but we're going to be talking about that. Think of me as your little star reporter. I take the news stories of the day and dovetail them with the astrology. I'm always so fascinated by those moments that are constantly moving in our world and how astrology is a great descriptor. So in any case, this being the quarter cycle, we have a half moon out there growing day by day with more light. But once the sun and the moon form a 90-degree angle, and that occurred, my friends, at 19 degrees of Taurus yesterday. I'm beaming into your life from Buffalo, New York. So I'm using Eastern Standard Time. So the second quarter, first quarter, Taurus 19 occurred at 8:50 in the morning Eastern Standard Time on the 8th. So whenever you see anything related to Taurus now for the next year and a half or so, especially the next year and a half until 2023 July, anytime you see the moon in Taurus or, the sun in Taurus, you know that's going to be tapping into the collective North Node in Taurus, the new wave and direction and journey that we're all taking collectively. So we have a square. Taurus is the pinnacle of the square. What's a square? A square is friction. So tension. A square is trying to create a new order of things. That's what a square is. Some of us were lucky enough to be born with a couple of squares in our chart. I know I have one, a direct square to Uranus. So yeah, I get a little jumpy sometimes. Sun and square, and doesn't matter. It's not about my chart. It's about you, and it's about me conveying some information to you. So the question of the week for you, has anyone been feeling, I guess, a sense of urgency to accomplish a goal, to get something done, and yet that goal has been a little bit out of reach, or you may have gotten distracted in the past 24 hours. Like, I have to get this done. I have to fill in the blanks, complete this task, do this, do that. And then everything changes in the moment because you get distracted or something else comes up. I have an explanation for that. The goal setting and the goal implementation is the square. All right. So it's the moon next to Uranus, squaring the sun, which is next to Saturn. And so it's also the juxtaposition between will forces, and the will is claiming and clashing against the collective Aquarius, people, power of the people. We get Uranus in the room. Uranus is about revolution and change and protest. Yes, we'll talk about the truckers' protest, not just in Canada, but across the world in many places. And please, when you beam in, let me know where you're coming in from. But we want to talk mostly about where that Taurus falls in your chart because you're feeling the energy in that arena. And the reason why you have this urgency, my interpretation, of course, you have the urgency with the quarter square, but things are a little ethereal, is because the Sabian symbol is wisps of clouds in the sky are like wings streaming away. I'll say that again. Wisps of clouds in the sky are like wings streaming away. You know, I'm sure you've all cloud watched before, right? And there's something very hypnotic and meditative about having, in my life, the leisure to look up in the sky and watch clouds. But that's what this particular Sabian symbol is all about with this particular lunation. Fleeting opportunities, things out of reach. Your head is in the clouds, transcendence, trying to get above it all. And those are some interpretations of this particular Sabian symbol, which is the esoteric word picture of this next week. So looking at things from both sides now, right? I really don't know clouds at all. The idea of getting above it all and looking at the ethereal pictures that are found in the clouds. Another question for you this week, and you feel free to make comment. Are you feeling that urgency? Are you feeling that maybe time is slipping away? Perhaps you're in a situation where time seems to be speeded up. And or are you looking for signs and symbols through nature to kind of guide you? That's another way of looking at this particular Sabian symbol. We're going to look at some slides now, signs and symbols, to give you a little bit more detail about the essence of the chart. Hi, Linnell. High hopes. Love looking at the clouds, says Marianne. Hi, Patricia from the Bronx. Thanks for being you guys here. Chrissy and Ben, Eastern Nebraska. Hello from North Carolina. Hi, Monica. Yes, unfinished tilling outside. Yep. Taurus is in your fourth house. Okay, so that groundedness is in your fourth house, and you're really trying to get things accomplished right now with this quarter square. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Veronica, Moni, and Rick, and Marianne, David, and Marie, and Rick, and Tanya, Rebecca, and Ed, Brookins, and Rosanna, and Josh, and Vixie. Big hugs to all of you. If I didn't get to your name, please know I'm thinking of you, and you're in Germany at this moment. I love the word moment, Moni, because to me, that's what astrology is. It's a collection of moments that make up our lives. As an agent with the CIA, let me remind you, friends, this is such a fantastic organization, right? We have so many webinars, we have symposiums, we have classes, we have membership. Consider becoming a member of the CIA. And yes, we do have a wonderful free for the asking journal called Time Lords. I'm going to put it in the comments, and you can simply sign up and get your free edition of February's Time Lords. On the cover piece of Time Lords is, of course, the dedication to what's coming up, which is the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction of April 12th. Oh my. I consider that one of the premier psychic intuitive downloads of our lifetime. Well, of several lifetimes. The last time Jupiter and Neptune were conjunct was in 1856. I wasn't around, at least in this body, in 1856. The time of the Transcendental movement, the time of the beginnings of spiritualism, the time of the Impressionistic artists, the time countdown to the American Civil War, and so forth and so on. So that particular time in history is kind of being rebirthed in our lifetimes in April. And so Time Lords, the magazine from CIA, is going to be talking about that. Many wonderful astrologers writing some articles on that. So get your free edition. Why not, right? Hello, Plunkett from New Hampshire. It's a magical painting, Moni. It is, absolutely. Please check out that beautiful journal of the CIA. So I'm going to bring in some slides here for you and just give you a couple of quick nuances. And if you're new to the Cosmic Connections, I'm recognizing so many of you. Oh, Donna Wynn, thank you for sharing that, sweetie, about memory. And time does seem to be passing really fast. Anyone I feel who's after their second Saturn return, life just seems to be spinning so quickly, Donna. I'm with you. And I'm going to say this also. Amazing that our elders on this planet have seen humanity go through so many twists and turns in the past 75 odd years. It's just amazing to be alive now. But, capture those memories, Donna. I'm going to make a suggestion, if you wouldn't mind. Get yourself your little phone, get a little recorder, and talk into it and share memories of your life for your loved ones, because legacy recordings are such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm working on mine right now. I mean, who knows when any of us will stay here on the planet or not, but it's really good to use the voice to commemorate our life experiences. So here we are, friends. We are in the Aquarius time of the year. And Aquarius, of course, is this amazing energy that represents all things humanity and innovation and off planet. What's off planet? Well, I don't know, satellites, electricity, electronics, gamma rays, X-rays, GPS, anything that's technologically sound represents Aquarius energy. Anything that's unusual. And yes, even your own personal creative spark. Aquarius is a sign of differences, but those differences are cataloged within the community, the tribe, or the group. It's collectivism. It's theoretically, it's communism and socialism. It's communes. But every sign has its shadow side. So too much collectivism can mean what? No Leo, no individuality, no sovereignty, no sense of individuality. So when we're in the Aquarius time of the year, these issues come up. Even more so in 2022, since we have that amazing taunting square. It's not exact, the taunting square of Uranus and Saturn. And even more so in 2022, when Uranus and the moon in this particular week on the lunation is next to the North Node. This Taurus signature year with the nodes is asking us to create templates for ourselves, to create a world in which we're feeling safe, secure, and when we're prioritizing what really matters to us. That's one of the signatures of 2022. So some other little observations for you, friends. Everyone needs to be their own sovereign. The groundedness of Leo is really, really important when we have this particular time of the year. The barometer is the Sabian symbol of the new moon that took place on February 1st, reading the signs and signals in our own physical bodies, like using our bodies as body wisdom, of trusting our gut, of trusting our intuitions. That's the Sabian symbol of the barometer, reading the room, and using our spider senses to be able to ascertain what's happening, to discern, to discriminate what's happening in our own lives, in our own homes, our own businesses, and indeed the world. All right, here we go. Here's the chart. We've got some lunar energy sandwiched between the North Node and Uranus. And we've got a little action here from Ceres. And Ceres, of course, is food, clothing, and shelter. She's the great feminine goddess, the great mother that provides substance for us when she's in Taurus. And all of this lovely energy is pushing up against the Aquarius energy, right? And at the same time, we've got the North Node trining Pluto. Something's got to give. Something's going to change. Something has to emerge. Now, from my little neck of the woods in New York State, there was the big news story just a few hours ago that the governor has announced that there will be no, let me say this correctly. She is releasing many of the mask mandates, not all of them. It's at her discretion, but mask mandates indoors are being lifted in many, many, many venues in New York State, which is a big, big deal, obviously. And remember that we still have this Capricorn lineup that's happening right before our very eyes. We still have Pluto next to Mercury. That's very tense and will forming within the context of the elite or governing rulers, anything Capricorn, right? Capricorn is the top of the mountain, our boss, our employer, our government, the powers that be. So you want to identify where the Taurus falls in your chart, because that's where you're moving towards. That's how things are changing. And when we have the moon coming up to the north node, that also indicates new contacts, new friends, new important people that may be coming into our lives to help us with our Taurus agenda. Everyone has a Taurus agenda. What's a Taurus agenda? Safety, security, financial security, beauty, groundedness, food, clothing, and shelter. So we may be finding some important people along the way this particular week. So those wings of the clouds are like wings as we have this tense square going on. That's a nice, pretty picture, right? Just think of the leisure and the beauty of just looking up in the sky and being inspired by the shapes that the clouds make. That is our Sabian symbol. Okay, so here's the story out of New York State. Like I said, this happened today under the newness of this quarter cycle. And meanwhile, we still have the story out of Canada, the Freedom Convoy. And as that's happening, we are basically going to be seeing some changes there as well. All right. So as we're moving forward with this week of this square, this is an interesting story. This comes from MSN. It's basically talking about not just the truckers in the Canadian protest participating, but other SUVs and other vehicles, family sedans, even a pint-sized smart car. They're talking about the bridge at Detroit and Windsor. And I thought this was a very interesting sidebar with the convoy, the so-called Freedom Convoy in Canada. Again, that connects with the Uranus-Saturn square. And by the way, let's just take a minute to talk about the cycle before the big full moon. All right, so the full moon cycle starts next week on the 16th. And our full moon is going to be in Leo. Again, the grounding of Aquarius at 27 degrees of Leo. That takes place at 11:56 in the morning on the 16th, 27 degrees of Leo. We'll talk about the full moon next week on Wednesday, but the time right before the full moon is called Gibbous, friends. And so the Gibbous cycle is when we are in a place of anticipation. It's when the moon isn't quite full. It will look full to our eyes, but it's the time when we're kind of filled with that sense of intuitive anticipation. So this happens to take place on Valentine's Day. So be aware, I always say this about any sort of holidays or holy days, the holy day of Valentine's Day, when we celebrate love and romance and so forth, this particular year has this basically a bucket pattern. And the moon in Leo is the sandwich of this bucket. So our emotions want to be recognized. We want to be recognized by our significant others, or if you celebrate Valentine's Day with your family or friends, we want to have our creativity shine even more than normal this year. But because it's in Gibbous, we may be feeling a little trepidation that we're not going to have our greatest needs met. So to avoid any, disquiet, dissatisfaction, or disappointment, don't build up the expectation of the 14th of February this year because it's a gibbous cycle. Positive for intuition, positive for interaction, and positive, extremely positive for your own personal creativity to shine. So there you go. Happy Valentine's Day. And we will be talking about the full moon next Wednesday. Okay. All right. Stephanie asks, I don't have Taurus in my chart. What does that mean? Simply stated, Stephanie, a chart is circular, and we have a replication of all 12 signs of the zodiac along the ecliptic. So even though you're not a Taurus sun or moon or have many planets in there, you're going to have a section of your chart that would be devoted to where Taurus will be falling in the ecliptic. In other words, all of us have all 12 of the signs somewhere in our makeup. So how you might be able to find that? Well, I do believe the CIA has an app that can show you where your chart is, all the different places. I'm also, just for your consideration, I know I have it on my front page of my website. You can look at it there. It's called Discover Your Personal Astrology. So you want to find out where you have the Taurus, because that's where you're doing the rebuild during this building cycle, during this first quarter square. So we're all feeling, like I said earlier, this urgency, but because it's sandwiched with the Sabian symbol of the wisps of clouds in the sky, we may be distracted during this week. Okay, so I think, how do you know when it's your solar return? How many times do I have it in a lifetime? I love the questions. Just bring on the questions, friends. Solar return. We know what solar means, Plunkett, right? The solar is the sun. It returns. Every birthday we celebrate. We have a solar return. Back in the old days, greeting cards would write in the cards, back in the Victorian era, for example, have many happy returns. What that means, have many more returns of the sun, live longer. So a solar return is when the sun returns to where it was the day and the moment you were born. So we do solar return charts. And in fact, at the CIA, they just had a solar return webinar. I'm telling you, the CIA offers so many amazing classes and webinars and articles. So check out the website. I put it in earlier, but I'm going to put it in again. Okay, Cosmic Intelligence Agency.com. And again, I put it up earlier. Get your free edition of the Time Lords magazine journal, and that will help, I hope, solve some of your questions here. Hello there, Eugenia. You're feeling like you want to start new projects, and Vixie has Leo and Leo rising, working through love shadow work. Wow, Vixie, this is an intense time, absolutely, of the year for you, and how insightful of you to be aware of that. All right. This is what's so wonderful about doing therapeutic work, astrological work, breath work, do self-involved work, because the minute we are putting out the work, then we have power over those shadows, right? We all have shadows. Okay. You have the same in Canberra happening, Linnell. I presume you're talking about the protests. And Jupiter's at 0 degrees, says JB. How lucky are you? You had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction on December 21st of 2000, right? That launched a new 20-year cycle right there on your Jupiter. So that's a profound placement in your chart. You'll probably be changing a lot of your business associates and expanding in new ways. Okay. I'm glad you're here too, Francia, or Francia. Thank you for being here. Let's do some spiritual work now, friends. Yeah, the truck run to Canberra. Very, very good. Thank you, Linnell. You understand there's no chicken and egg in astrology. It all reflects what's happening on the planet. We have gone through a collective experience of limitation, of restriction over a very real virus, but at the same time, there's been a lot of controversy and pushback against the Capricorn elites, telling us that one size fits all, and we have to do certain things according to the rules. Okay, so the Uranus and Saturn square that's been playing out in the past year and a half, and it's really strong. This particular week is very strong. We are seeing more visible representations of the internal frustration that's going on. Aquarius is the people, and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and pushing up against each other, trying to find a solution between living within the confines of restriction, but still being able to address the multiplicity of individual differences. It's like not one size fits all. If you mandate one particular medication or one particular behavior because of viva la difference, that's the message of Aquarius. One side cannot ever fit all. Rules are made to be broken. That's what Uranus square Saturn says. And that's what we're seeing on the planet in various ways all the past year, but especially now. Again, I'm reporting to you from Buffalo, New York. We do have one of those mandates, the masking, has been lifted as of today under the light of this square. So there you go. Look where Taurus falls in your chart. And I'm going to give you a quick horoscope, and then we'll do some message work. All right. If you are Aries or Aries rising, this particular week is all about you commanding greater abundance in your life, doing anything you can to create more income, identifying your skill sets and your wonderful sense of who you are to create more value in your life, more money. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, this energy is asking you to celebrate you, to step into your own way of being without contingencies, of being your own strong, authentic self. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, this particular energy is asking you to indulge in your ability to retreat, to meditate, to pray. If you are a Cancer or Cancer rising, this is a great time of the year for you to identify who your true friends are, your tribe, your associates, and really spend more time with friends. For Leo or Leo rising, this is a fantastic time for you to step into your leadership role, to be the person that takes the reins of your career in a new way. For Virgo or Virgo rising, speak your piece, speak your truth, teach, maybe plan a trip. For Libra or Libra rising, step into your ability to become a lot more internally powerful, using the tools of emotional resilience, spiritual questing, or psychological strength. All three at the same time. That's for our Libras. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this energy is all about you projecting onto your partner, becoming a better partner to your BFFs, or perhaps consolidating a partnership with someone you care about. For Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, this energy is asking you to get out there and, firm up your self-care plan, your nutritional plan, your exercise plan to take care of yourself in a new way. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, this energy is asking you to play, to tap into your creativity, to really be childlike, to enjoy life with a new sense of joy. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, this particular week's energy is about your home, your family, your ability to be with others in the family setting, or perhaps redoing something in the family structure, remodeling, or even doing a deep cleaning. And last but never least are our Pisces friends. This particular energy is activating your teaching, your writing, your thinking, and the ability to make a new decision in a new way, of really standing your ground, thinking a new thought, Pisces. All right. Thank you, friends, for that. We're going to do some spiritual work too. All right. So we have some comments. North Node is in Capricorn at 14 degrees, and Pluto is in Leo in the 3rd house. So, David, so for you, the 14 degrees. So, really, this lunation is not exactly trine, but it's close enough to be activating what direction you want to take. And goodness, David, what you've been through since 2019, since July, right? Since July of 2019, when we had the eclipses along the Capricorn Cancer line, and then we went through the Capricorn year of 2020. You've gone through so many twists and turns, and letting go of one's own your own sense of who you are, and creating a new template of authority for yourself. All right. If your birthday is on the cusp, how do you know which sign you are? Great question, Dawn. Astrology is based on your birth date, birth time, and where on the planet you were born, right? So this is why the location is so important. If you don't know your exact sun sign, you need to have a professional astrologer. Check out one of us at the CIA or even online, but try to find your birth time, because obviously I'm coming to you from Eastern Standard Time. And as the world turns, as the world orbits and revolves, we have different times. But cusp is an interesting comment, right? Because you're really only one or another sun sign using the astrological wisdom. Okay. Yes. All right, let's do some spiritual messages. And how I do that, I close my eyes, I use my finger to select someone, and it's all very random. And I turn on, as I say, my mediumistic side of myself and psychic side of myself. And what good news we all have, because come April, again, the Time Lords magazine is going to be talking about that. Come April, this great conjunction of Neptune and Jupiter, I do believe, is going to elevate so many of us who are questing to activate and develop our intuition and psychic side of our natures. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and best. So I align myself with the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. All right. Moni Al, my finger came to you. If you're still in the room, I'd be happy to give you a read. Okay. Moni Al, if you're still with us, I would love to give you a little spiritual read. You're welcome, Dawn. Okay. Where the question, how do you get the Time Lords magazine? I sent, I'm going to send you another link. You go to this link, you provide your email, and ta-da, you get the Time Lords magazine. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fantastic, Moni. All right. So that's a good question. And let me kind of tune into you. And it does help. You don't have to give me bits of your chart, because I like to do both. Obviously, I'm an astrologer. I read the charts, but I also am a psychic medium, and I do both in my readings. But right now, as I'm tuning into your energy, Moni, you asked this direct question about manifesting a new home. And that full moon is going to be up there on your IC, it looks like. And I'm going to take it from what other things I'm seeing here. I want to go back to August 21st of 2017 with you, Mona. What was Moni? I'm sorry. Moni, back in 17, August 21st of 2017. Around that time, you were going through a lot of personal changes with your intimates, okay, with the people that you were intimately connected with, your family, perhaps a spouse or something like this, and you were going through some transition with a loved one at that time. And now you're going into this new stage of your life. That door is closed from a number of years ago. The new door that you're opening up with this full moon is going to give you a lot more leverage, a lot more joy of connecting with someone who's totally aligned with your own creativity. Even though you're asking about a home, I'm also wanting to say about the people involving in your intimate circle. It's as if I feel like you are going to manifest a home, but this home is going to be closer to at least one special individual that you can come over and share a cup of tea with, or a cup of coffee, or a glass of wine, that there's more fluidity in this next place. Now, the full moon is next week on the 16th at 27 degrees of Leo. That's the, I want to say, the first stage of you finding the right place. But there might be a little bit of a delay until, I'm doing this psychically now, until the last week in March to final up the plans. I'm also getting a name for you. It feels like it's Reginald or Ronald, something like this, with you, Moni. And he's coming in from spirit. He's an R name sound, as in, like yours, Moni. He's like Ronnie or Roni. He's a gentleman. He comes in with a great deal of height. And I go back 2 generations, a mustache. And he had a great deal of singularity about him. He was very strong, very much a leader. He did not take any gaff from anyone. And his message for you right now is stand your ground on many different levels with the people around you who have been trying to, I want to go back that 2017 period. You were taken advantage of that time. And he says you will never repeat the same mistakes as went on those many years ago. But as we go forward, I'm happy to say you have changed a lot, so much more in the past 2 years than you have in the preceding 20. So that you're a lot stronger and a lot more resilient in your own sense of self. I'll leave that with God's blessings. Okay. All right. I'm going to do another read. Okay. All right. And Linnell, I'd love to come to you, Linnell Hayes. And before I come to Linnell, if Linnell is still here, the 27 degrees pertains to Leo. The question, Ben, is simply this. 27 degrees of Leo is the degree of our full moon that occurs on the 16th of February. So does that make sense? Every full moon is different. Every full moon has a degree attached to it. All right. So the full moon during February, during the Aquarius cycle, is always going to be in Leo. And in 2022, it happens to be at 27 degrees. Great, Linnell. I'm with you. Okay. Let's see. As I'm tuning into, my dear, I am, I got a visual of you sweeping things up, like, taking a whisk broom and, maybe literally sweeping, but sweeping away the clutter here, the clutter on the floor, and the clutter and I want to say the fears of Linnell past tense. You have really shut some doors, my friend, and you are so aligned with spirit. I want to start with that because you've been very consciously removing, I want to say the word distractions and clutter, but literally cleaning up debris. And one of the things I'm coming into an awareness of for you, Linnell, is I don't know if you're taking a cruise or something about water, maybe getting a boat or doing some boating. I'm getting the word cruise, but I'm seeing the sea. But you're not just observing from the shore, you are exploring aboard a boat, a craft of some sort. And it might not be coming, I just feel that. It might be a couple of different opportunities to explore the sea aboard a cruise or a boat. And I'm getting the image of the mermaid too. Now, the story and the legend of the mermaid is the feminine entity that can move between two worlds. And the spell is broken when she falls in love. So I want to say this to you that I don't know where Pisces is offhand your chart. I think I should know, but I'm going to give you the image of Pisces for you for a moment. You are kind of a shapeshifter right now in your spirituality, and you're becoming a lot more confident in your own psychic abilities. But I get the word shapeshifter, shamanic work, and so again, that's what a mermaid is. The path that you've been on in assisting and helping others is so fabulous and so strong, but you're changing up too. It's almost like no one can get you off your track. You are so aligned and so secure within your own spiritual place in the planet. And I'm also getting some dream work for you, Linnell. I don't know if you've been doing conscious dream work, like taking note of your dreams at night and analyzing them upon awakening. But that is what I'm getting for spirit for you. Or maybe you're leading a dream group, or you're going to help people with their dreams. Whatever I'm getting here, it's very Piscean imagery, isn't it? But you are going to excel in using that as a tool. Dream work, meditation, and going beneath the surface. And I leave that with God's blessings. Okay. You need a holiday. Okay. Very nice. Shut and welded closed. It sounds right. So I'm not reading the comments as I'm doing that, Linnell. All right. Your Pisces is in the third house. Beautiful. And you also have natal Venus and Mercury. No wonder I'm getting so much Pisces. Okay. I'm glad I got the feedback from you, Linnell. God bless you. And God bless all of you. It's been always a pleasure to touch in with you on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in taking a little love and astrology course with me, I start that up on Valentine's Day. You can connect with me on my website, CassandraJoanButler.com. And we go for 3 Mondays in a row. But I especially want to emphasize my great honor and privilege to serve as Agent 56 with the CIA. And so get your Time Lords magazine and join the CIA. It's one of the most wonderful places on this planet to learn about astrology, to grow, to meet other astrologers, and to have fun with me on Wednesday nights. And there's lots of other agents who do cool things too, like Tara with her meditations and tarot. God bless. See you next Wednesday, God willing. Bye-bye now. Thank you.